If there's like one thing in particular, it's just like I think I've kind of been a little more lax on over the years. Like I will admit at first, and this is with the matter of like video game production and the idea of sequels. At first, I was kind of, I mean, rightfully so. I felt pissed because so many games were trying to aim to be that, oh, we can last forever kind of game. 9 times out of 10, ultimately failing because they put their money on the wrong horse in a lot of the ways. But over the years, I've just started thinking, like, I mean, like, I feel like it is just relatively a lot cheaper if you do things right to keep a video game that you just made going, as opposed to just, hey, let's spend all these resources and all this time on a brand new sequel.
Right. The thing about that, right, is that sequels are fine, but it feels like if you're making a sequel solely for, I know, right, the industry is about making money. You have to make money. That's kind of the unfortunate nature of it.
But yeah, everyone knows
feels
that,
like,
but...
Yeah, it feels like that there's a thing about passion, right?
Right.
The thing, that's why I do have some respect for Ghost of Yote, is because as much as I'm not interested in it, it doesn't feel like a soulless sequel. It feels like they have a passion for this. You know?
Yeah.
It feels like they didn't make this just because, oh, Ghost of makes money, so make another one. It's like, oh no, we have another story to tell. So we want to share that story, you know?
Yeah. I think, like, in my eyes, one of the genres to benefit greatly from this, oh, will be a forever game, is, interestingly enough, I think it's fighting games.
Right.
Like, okay, I will, like, we've said our piece about the whole DLC situation, so I'm not about to repeat myself here. But I will say is that I think relatively, like, hey, for example, Dragon Ball FighterZ coming back, I think is honestly kind of great. I think a lot of people thought that Dragon Ball FighterZ was done, but the fact that arguably bringing back one of arguably the best Dragon Ball fighting games just to date, like, and just still updating it and still keeping it relevant and everything, that's really cool.
Yeah, that was really interesting. Is that they just randomly decided to revive fires, you know?
Yeah, I think a lot of people, myself included, thought, all right, well, Bandai is putting all of their, like, eggs into one basket with Sparking Zero now. Dragon Ball FighterZ is kind of done, right? But no, them coming back with the Diamond DLC next year and everything, and even update some shit, and I've even heard this, is that people found ways with the new update to break the game. It's ways that are not fun, that ArcSys actually came out and said, yeah, we apologize for this is not how it's supposed to be. We're going to update this game so that this doesn't happen. It's just like,
wow.
That's actually, it's just like, that rarely happens all that much, honestly. And how, like, Guilty Gear Strive even coming out with its next season also for next year and everything. It's just like, this is really good, because Strive is one of the best Guilty Gear games out today.
That's something I've never been interested in, is like a heavy interest in fighting games. Obviously, I played Marvel vs. Capcom 2 a lot. That was kind of my extent of fighting game knowledge. Until I started playing Tekken with you guys, but that's like neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But it always felt to me that fighting games got a better deal, usually, and it weirdly felt like they got more respect from developers, ironically.
A lot of the times, I honestly, as someone who's been from the FGC, a lot of times I think it is just because they know what they are. Like, they are fighting games. Now, a lot of the times, I think the lesser successes of games are just, interestingly enough, games that either do go way too far in experimentation or just cater to the wrong audience. Like, well, honestly, I know people are going to hate me for saying this, but Persona 4 Arena. It was a game catered to genuinely the wrong crowd, because you were catering to both Persona fans and fighting game fans.
Yeah, because there has to be a crossover here, because it's also, not only are you asking for Persona fans, but you're asking for Persona fans that are fans of fighting games, you know? And it just feels like a weird, like, what?
Yeah, like
Those people probably exist, but they're very,
not
very
very in comparison, because that's the whole thing too, is that they try to incorporate, because this is what Persona fans say too. Oh yeah, Persona 4 Arena is absolutely canon to Persona 4. How do you think the fighting game fandom is going to take that?
yeah.
Like, do you think fighting game fans are going to get anything about Persona if they don't even give a fuck
Right.
about turn-based strategy games?
Exactly. It's like you have to have already have played this 100-hour RPG to understand what's going on or who these characters are.
Yeah.
You know? Which, obviously, you can play a game without needing all that, obviously, but at the same time, who really is doing that?
Yeah, like, honestly. At the very least, it could benefit from, like, having something along the lines of, like, a recap kind of scenario.
Right. But at the same time, like, it kind of knows what it is, you know?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, if you're not a Persona fan, you're not gonna understand what's going on.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
which is why I feel like, uh, to get back into this topic, right, cross-tag battle did way better of that.
I would absolutely agree. Because
Because
for, like...
then you're getting, yeah.
Yeah, for one, I mean, the only reason this took off was because Ruby at the time was at its peak. And, hey, people were looking for, hey, Ruby characters that can fight and everything. We were kind of looking for that. And so it answered that question. So, like, relatively, I mean, like, anybody who was a fan of Ruby already was playing it, so they didn't really need to get caught up or anything. And also, again, like, it was just, like, the way it was handled and everything. I mean, yeah, again, DLC
Yeah, it's
situation.
its own story, though, also, so that helps.
An old story and everything, DLC and whatnot. But overall, I mean, like, it was relatively a decent time. I mean, like, a lot of people, of course, now just walk away from it because a lot of people that liked Ruby back in the day grew to dislike it and walked away.
But the thing is that with this game, right, you already have, like, oh, you're getting the Blaze Blue fans, right? They're already fighting game fans. You're getting the Under Night Rebirth fans. They're already fighting game fans.
Yep.
And then you added in Persona and Ruby to that, and then it's like, oh, so now we have 4 different fandoms here, you know?
Yeah, and then you add in fucking Senran Kagura, Heart Aino, fucking Akatsuki Blitzkampf, like, you have all these different series, and you just, like, it's no wonder why that game, despite what people want to say about it nowadays, it's no wonder why that game, you know, actually was a decent success overall.
Like, why it did relatively well.